Hey guys, welcome back to 22 Lima Romeo. I'm Jeremy and I am here with your official February 2025 NRL22 Monthly Course of Fire walkthrough. February marks the month of love, and with that being said, I'd like to acknowledge that this is the 4th season that my wife and kids have been coming out to shoot NRL22 Monthly Course of Fires with me. I drug them out to a very miserable match in February of 2021, and here we are 4 years later. They're still out there competing. So drag your wife and kids out there to shoot a match. They may fall in love with the sport just like my wife and kids did. Speaking of love, I'd like to spread some love on YouTube to a bunch of other content creators that make very similar content to the stuff that we make on this channel. And they may shoot things slightly differently than I do. And that may be something that you find really valuable. So I'm going to list off a bunch of channels that also make this kind of content. Do me a huge favor, go out there, subscribe to those channels, watch their content. You may find something that I don't offer you on this channel, and that would be excellent for you as the competitor. So, in no particular order, we're going to start with Pursuit of Accuracy. Although he doesn't make Course of Fire walkthroughs, you will be hard-pressed to find a better rimfire channel out there that offers more valuable information than Josh at Pursuit of Accuracy. Going right down the line here, we have Jonathan O'Cab. He is the OG content creator for this kind of stuff. Then we have Ned Bedded Precision. He is the current national champion. We have 2 tenths left, Gun Guy 308, PNW Long Range, Womfat, Southeast Queensland Shooters, 22 LR Phantom, Damon Grail, Copper Star Precision, Armin, Jonathan Cook, and of course, the NRL22.official YouTube channel. Those guys make great content, and I highly encourage you to go out there and check out their stuff and see what they have to offer. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get some stages set up and let's shoot this Course of Fire.
First up for the February Course of Fire, we have Stage 1. We have a 2-inch at 95 yards on a single hanger. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the target with 3 shots from each position, utilizing a chosen rung from each position. The positions are standing, kneeling, sitting, and prone. Note, the prone position may be utilized on the prop or next to it from the ground. Restrictions: rungs may not be repeated.
Ready? Nope. Check parallax.
Alright, getting things started in Stage 1. For my gear, I'll be using the MDT Skypod Double Pull, which is a brand new piece of kit for this channel.
Okay.
And I'll be using the Armageddon Gear Medium and Heavy Fill.
Ready?
Ready.
Stand by. Engage.
I'll have my optic set at about 15 power, and I'll have the elevation turret dialed for that 95-yard target. First things first, we're given a little bit of freedom on this stage. I'm going to choose to shoot prone first because I need to get a solid wind call for this range. Now, as you can see, I missed that target 2 tenths to the left, so I make a quick correction because I see where that bullet goes, and I'm going to use that 0.8 mil hold for the rest of the stage. Now, building into our first position on the ladder, I chose a seated position. I'm going to reach up over the top of the optic, put a little bit of pressure with the heel of my palm by pinching the rail of the optic between my thumb and my forefinger. I'm going to break these 3 shots, and then we're going to transition up to a kneeling position. Now, in that kneeling position, you'll notice that I'm putting my right knee down instead of my left knee. Now, typically, I would reverse this. I had injured that left knee the night before, so my brain didn't want me to feel any pain, which is why I subconsciously put that other knee down instead. It's weird what the mind will do. We're going to transition right up here to the standing position. Again, I'm just going to repeat that same exact hold. We're going to get the mag change in, but you'll notice that every time I build a position on a ladder, I always pinch the rail of the ladder with my support hand between my thumb and my forefinger, and I apply a little bit of pressure into the optic. That really does help settle that rifle stock down into the bag and gives me the stability that I'm looking for to break those shots from the ladder. That was a fun stage. Let's get into Stage 2. Next up, we have Stage 2. We have a 1.5 on a double hanger at 75 and a 3-inch on a double hanger at 100 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open.
On the start signal, engage the targets from the designated props in the following manner.
From prop 1, target 1, 2, 1. From prop 2, target 2, 1, 2. From prop 3, 1, 2, 1 again. Finally, from prop 4, target 2, 1, and 2.
Note, props may be used in any order. Props are the 55-gallon barrel, the tire stack, the sawhorse top, and the sawhorse shelf.
A club-provided tripod may be used as rear support. Getting started into stage 2, we have a bit of a busy stage on this one. For my gear, I'll be using the MDT Skypod for balance, the wee bad strap is Behemoth, the Grey Ops CNC Mini Plate Pro, and the Armageddon Gear Mini Plate Pro pad. I'll have my optics set at about 15 power. I'll have my elevation dialed for the first target, and I'll be holding over for the second. You'll notice that I build into position on the bottom of the sawhorse here first, and the reason why is because I need a solid wind call, and I need to make sure that what my catch roll is telling me is true. So I want to build into a prone position supported with that strapless Behemoth. You'll notice that I keep the tripod relatively close to me when I build into that position so that as I transition up here to the top of the sawhorse, the tripod is just about in a good position for me to grab it with my support hand and use it as rear support for the stock. I used a bag that was attached to the stock of the rifle for a reason. I didn't want to be manipulating another piece of equipment with my support hand. I wanted my support hand to stay focused on just the tripod throughout the rest of the stage. Now we're going to transition to the top of the tires here. This is when things get a little bouncy. I'm going to build into a solid kneeling position, anchoring my right elbow to my right knee while utilizing that support hand on the tripod, keeping track of the sequence because, as we saw in the stage description, the sequence changes throughout this stage. But we're going to transition over here to the barrel. I'm going to repeat everything, building into a solid kneeling position, anchoring my right elbow to my right knee, and using that tripod as rear support. This is something that I think you should really practice at home, so that way you're not having to figure out how to use this tripod when you're on the clock at a match. That was a pretty challenging stage. Let's get into stage 3.
24 seconds left.
Plenty of time. Clean.
Next up, we have stage 3. We have a 2.5 and 3 inch on a double hanger at 94 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the targets with 1 shot each, large then small, from the following positions in order. From the center of the tank trap, then from each tip, and then again from the center of the tank trap. Note, this is the bonus point stage, where you earn 0.1 bonus point per second remaining on the clock. Get things going on the tank trap stage. For my gear, I'll be using the Armageddon Gear Medium like usual, except this time I'm going to use the MDT Skypod as a counterweight for the stock. I'll have my optics set at about 15 power, and I'll have my elevation dialed for that 94-yard target. This stage designates that we shoot the first position from the center of the tank trap. Now, if given the option, that is always where I'm going to choose to shoot first, because it affords me the most stability from this prop and allows me to get a really solid wind call that I can employ for the rest of the stage. Now, when building into positions on tank traps, I always use the same exact strategy. I spread my legs out nice and wide, parallel with the firing line. I reach up with my support hand, put it on the bag, and I apply a little bit of pressure on the stock with my thumb. Now, luckily for us, we get to choose which order we shoot the tank trap tips from. I choose to shoot the front, then the left, then the right, and then we're going to drop right back down here to the center of the tank trap, and we're going to do the same thing that we did to start the stage. Luckily, that wind hold worked out well. The tank trap is always a good prop for time because it really shows who has practiced on this prop and who has not. Let's get into stage 4.
Clean. Barely clean, but a clean.
Next up, we have stage 4. We have a 1 inch on a single hanger at 50 yards, a 2.5 on a single hanger at 88, and a 3 inch on a single at 99 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, Mag in, action open. On the star signal, engage the targets from the pyramid in the following order. Position 1, 1, 2, 3. Position 2, 2, 3, 1. Position 3, 3, 1, 2. Finally, position 4, 1, 2, 3 again. Restrictions. Each position must involve a change in rungs. Positions may not be repeated. For stage 4, we have our month's pyramid stage. I'm going to be using the MDT Skypod for balance again. I'll be using the Armageddon Gear Medium and the Weebad Traps Behemoth just to build into this first position. I'm going to have my elevation zeroed and I'm going to hold over for those far 2 targets. Now I'm going to choose to build into the bottom rung position because again, I want to get a solid wind call for this stage. The wind was starting to change a little bit on the range, so I needed to get a solid wind call that I could employ for the rest of these positions. Now we're going to transition up here to the second rung. I'm just going to work my way up the left side of this pyramid because in my mind, this seemed to be the easiest way to tackle this stage. We were given a lot of freedom on this one to kind of choose how we wanted to shoot it, as long as we were changing a rung after every position. Now something to keep in mind on this stage is that we do change sequence every single time we change position. So I do encourage you to go ahead and write a dope card for this stage in particular, so that way you don't lose track of what shot sequence you need to make from each rung as you change positions.
Touch it.
I made a fatal error here, and I didn't really catch that pendulum effect that the Weebad Traps Behemoth was creating on my body as I was trying to build into that standing position. But if you pay close attention, you can actually see that pendulum effect swinging that reticle back and forth as I'm trying to get stable and break those shots.
It's getting really windy out there.
Luckily, we were able to get through that one without too much trouble. Let's go ahead and get into stage 5. Wrapping up this month's Course of Fire, we have stage 5. We have a 1/4 and 1/2 inch on a KYL rack at 35 yards, a 3/4 and 1 inch on a KYL rack at 45, a 1 and 1.5 on a double hanger at 65 yards, a 1.5 and 2 on a double hanger at 75 yards, and a 2 and 2.5 on a double at 84. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the star signal, ascend the rooftop and engage the targets with 1 shot each, near to far, large to small. We have stage 5.
Ready?
For my gear, I'm going to have the MDT Skypod again on the forend of that rifle. For what reason, I do not know, but I left it on there. For the sport bags, I'll be using the Weebad Traps Behemoth and the Armageddon Gear Medium and Heavy Fill. I'm going to have my optic set at 20 power. I'm going to have my elevation at 0 to start this stage. I'll be holding under for the 2 KOL racks, and then I'll be dialing up for the next 3 target arrays. Now building into this position, this is like shooting prone. So I'm going to use the Weebad Traps Behemoth as a rear support for the stock. I'm going to really anchor the stock of the rifle into that schmedium to give myself solid support on the forend. And I'm just going to treat this like I'm shooting off the bench and prone. Now, parallax is going to be an important element on this stage. You'll see me adjust that parallax 5 times as we make our way through these target arrays. I want to see where those bullets are going, see where they're impacting the target, and make sure that my wind calls are good throughout the stage. These wind calls are really important, and I'm paying very close attention. You'll see me pause there and actually look at the target to see where that bullet impacted so that I can make educated corrections as we went through the stage. That was a fun Course of Fire. I know I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy it too.
Queen. All right, guys, well, that is a wrap for the February 2025 NRL22 Monthly Course of Fire. The sun is going down, the temperatures are plummeting, so we got to pack up our stuff and get out of here. But before we do, we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate you being here. We'd also like to thank Knute Schneider for this awesome course of fire that's going to be really good for the new shooters who are just getting into the league. I'd also like to thank Midwest Precision Shooting. All the targets that you saw that we shot today were all provided by those guys. You can get yourself a set at MidwestPrecisionShooting.com. One of the benefits of this set is it just does not fail. With the theme of love of this month, if you guys would do us a huge favor, show us a little bit of love, reach down there, click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video with a shooting buddy. Another way that you could show the channel some love is to click on that link down below for buymeacoffee.com/22 Lima Romeo. Coffee is what helps keep us warm and fueled to come out here and shoot these course of fires, even when it's below freezing all day long. We're going to go ahead and pack up our stuff and get out of here. We really do appreciate you being here, and we hope to see you out on the range.